about an experience you had in court before we go in there.
So at about the end of January, I got a ticket for riding the Max without paying for it, and I was given a court date, and so I went on the same day that I got that ticket. I happened to run into an acquaintance of mine who had just come from court for the exact same charge, and he told me about this story about, he went up to the judge and he said, I can't like do community service because like I'm in school, blah 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 blah, and he was carrying a sketch pad with him, and the judge was like, well, we have this program where you can create a piece of work for the art, for the courtroom, and we'll have it hang there for a year and give it back to you at the end of it, and that can be your community service project. And so it was just by mere coincidence, it was actually like right over there where I ran into this acquaintance of mine who told me about it. And so I went to my court date, and like he doesn't bring it up for everybody. He's not like, you can either pay a fine, community service, or do an art project. So he scheduled me a community service date, which was over spring break, and I kind of fudged the details, and I was like, oh. I'm an art history student at PSU, and we will be going down to San Francisco for an art exhibit, like opening for an art history field trip. And he was just like, oh, so you're like artistically inclined, and he was like, what do you think of the works in here? And we have this program, blah 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 blah, that you can do. And so I ended up like, this was around the time of Aaron Campbell being shot and Jack Collins also being shot. And so I created this collage that was a list of everybody who has been shot or died in police custody in the last 10 years, and sort of made a cityscape with like some of their pictures, like some of the victims' pictures, some like protests, and like other public figures within it. And it might be hanging up in there, I'm not quite sure, but I went and I turned it in, and the judge actually really liked it, and he said that public defenders especially really like this kind of work. And another really cool thing about it is, while it's hanging in there, people can come and bid on it, and so like most of the pieces in there will have a price tag right by it, and that's the bid currently on it. And so potentially I can make money off of breaking the law. So, and like other people will see my work, and other people will like recognize my name. And so I just think it's just been an extremely amusing process this entire time. Like, it was just a series of coincidences that I was really pissed off at first about, because I was gonna buy the damn ticket anyways in the Rose Quarter, but then like I met that guy, like, and then just everything just sort of came about. And it's been
yeah, I was gonna.
No money at all.
How much was the ticket that they gave you?
It was going to be $250 for 8 hours of community service. So.
Did he give any sort of explanation for why he thought that was a reasonable replacement?
He said to me when I took him my work, he was like, I don't necessarily agree with it, or like he enjoyed it, but he said, I can see that you put in some of your own feelings about the system and about the way like things are, and he could tell that I could spend like a fair amount of time doing it, and that's all he really wanted. He just wanted me to be like, to be creatively, to be doing something positive with like my time, pretty much. Like, there's a painting up there that was done by a person who was busted for tagging, and he did a rendition of the city in Mount Hood, like in that sort of style, and that's hanging up in there right now. And there's just a whole series of like different things. People painted, like done flowers. My acquaintance actually did a painting of this woman who is like totally defenseless, and like 5 or 6 riot cops coming up to beat her, and like that had already gotten like $100 bid from a public defender on it. And
so he doesn't censor what comes in at all?
No, not at all. Yeah. No, I couldn't believe. Like, I thought it was too good to be true when like my friend told me about it. Like, and I didn't believe him. But then like it all just sort of panned out.
So what we're gonna do is go up there because it's a public courtroom.